Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Dubs Boxing. Back again with another weekend recap. We got some news and notes for you guys too. Salute to everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe for sure. We're gonna get straight into it. As you come on in, you know what I'm saying, drop your comments, you know what I'm saying. It's all good, bro. You can join into the conversation for sure. And salute to the playback too. I appreciate you guys. All right, we're gonna get it started. One moment. All right, bam. All right, so we're gonna recap yesterday's fights, man. We had Misfits Pro. They had a card on the zone. You know, they've been they've been real active, you know, doing a lot of fights as of late. This was Harlem Eubank versus David Popo, welterweights. On the undercard though, I want to mention Karen Malloy versus Sean Noakes. That was a solid fight as well. The Southpaw Malloy, he came out on top. He ended up stopping Sean Noakes. You know, Sean is the brother of Sam Noakes, the lightweight contender. But this is a good fight for Malloy. You know what I'm saying? He showed a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was pushing the pace. He was landing some good combinations on Noakes and getting them later in the fight. So this was in the welterweight division as well. They were fighting for IBF regional title, so that's going to give Malloy some rankings. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good win for him. Harlem Eubank and David Popo, that was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the fights where at the end of the year, when you're trying to figure out which one was fight of the year or the candidates for fight of the year, this one may be lost. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of fight where I jot down right now and then go back into my, you know what I'm saying? Go back into my notes later. This was actually a good fight. So Harlem Eubank, and he got to a solid start, you know what I'm saying? Was boxing well. Actually, he was coming forward, which I was thinking it was going to be reverse roles coming to the fight. But he was actually pushing Popo back. But then, you know, the shit started getting interesting when Popo dropped him earlier in that fight. I think it was the second round. Dropped him in the second round, kind of set the tone. And then Eubank started to get back in the fight slowly but surely. Then he dropped Popo. You know what I'm saying? So that it kind of evened up things. And I thought the fight was getting closer. But I think that 10th round, that was the deciding factor because Popo scored 2 knockdowns on Harlem Eubank. The first one, he was hurt. The second one was kind of like an after effect from the first one in that round. And then they went on to finish the fight. Popo got the nod, you know what I'm saying? And I agree. I thought he won the fight in rounds 7-5. So it was a crazy kind of score. So something like 114, 110. That feels about right. So I mean, this is a risk for Harlem Eubank because Popo is a tough guy. He's been around for a while. He went down to Australia and gave Lamparo all that he wanted. Busted his eye up, came up short, but he's a tough guy. I guess they was thinking they was gonna get the name, but Popo had other plans. So salute to him. That was a good fight too. Y'all, I suggest y'all go back and watch it if you missed it. Pretty good fight. So now for what's next, Karen Malloy, he won the fight. He won the IBF regional title. I think him and David Popo makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That would be a solid fight too. If they can do that probably at the end of the year or maybe, you know, they could do it next. So not a bad fight, you know what I'm saying? Actually a real good one. We fight all night TV. What's good, bro? Salute to you. I appreciate you coming through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was a good one though. So Popo, you know, shoot. Let me speak on welterweight division before I move on. Welterweight division has a lot of parity in it right now. Since Boots left, it's a lot of parity. Now you got the big names coming there. Devin Haney, he's there already, champ, WO champ. You got T.O. is there. Ryan Garcia is the WBC champ. Keyshawn Davis is there. Richardson Hitchens is there. So all the big name fighters are at 147. So That division is about to get hot. And underneath that, you have a lot of 50-50 type style fights. I mean, you got Jack Calleron is probably underneath those guys, maybe on the same level as those big name guys. You got the Golden Boy stable, Arnold Barbosa, Real Curiel, Lexus Rocha. You got Mean Machine still out there lingering. Sissoko, you got a lot of fighters at 147 now. So when you get the new entry of the bigger name guys coming up to a division with an already division that was kind of parity, it just didn't have no star power. In a couple of months, once these guys start fighting each other, Conor Ben coming back down, right? So once they start fighting each other, then you're gonna hear people saying, "Yo, welterweight is the best division in boxing." That's just how this shit works. Y'all gonna see. I'm just saying it now because I've been kind of saying it's a good division, not even having those top names. Brian Norman Jr., former champ. So I'm just thinking about names that's still in the division. So yeah, bro. Welterweight about to get lit. Marlon Prince, what's good with you? Toker's in the building. He said propose a good fighter. This was always mad matchmaking for misfits. A lot of their guys keep losing. Yep. Matty Harris lost a couple fights ago, didn't he? Yep. Edwards, Eubank, Conlon. Yep. Coming up short. But that was a real good fight, though. I enjoyed that. All right, moving on. This is Alberto Playo. So he had a tune-up fight last night down in the Dominican Republic. He ended up scoring a fourth round TKO victory. His opponent looked like he had an eye injury or something like that. He didn't want to continue, or he didn't continue. So I mean, it was a not. It wasn't nothing to really, write home about the performance. But the main thing that he won the fight. He came out clean. Seems like he don't have any injuries. So now we can look forward to October 24th against Dalton Smith. That was one of the fights that boxing fans was very, very excited about. That's a good fight. Dalton Smith coming off a big time win against Matisse. Playo had lost to Matisse, lost his title previously. Now he's back um, in the winning column, and now we can look forward to that fight. That's a good fight for the WBC 140 title. I felt like Dalton Smith lost some momentum with the injury. Shit you can't control, but he was riding high. Like that win that he had against Matisse and the way he did it kind of put him like the front runner of like fighter of the year type shit. And if he would part for a Playo in June, he probably would have been definitely on the ballot for sure. But now he kind of lost a lot of steam. Hopefully he's good to go, and we can get a good fight in October. I'm looking forward to that. That's a good one. Yeah, he did look. Yeah, I saw that fight too. Abner LD was good. I think Playo would beat Smith. Tough style matchup. That is a tough style matchup. Um, Smith is going to have to cut the distance, and he's going to have to punch with him. Playo would like to throw a lot of punches from the outside, let his hands go. I mean, Smith, if he can step in with that right hand, he got a big right hand. Let's see. I want to see it. And coming off an injury too. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. Matchroom boxing last night. So this was Pacheco versus Salim. Run up the card. Freddie Pacheco got a stoppage win. Nick Jones, he busted his bicep in that fight. Espinoza got a stoppage win. He just signed with Matchroom. Samuel Contreras went the distance. That's a young. I think he's 8-0 now, but he's with Top Rank. My man Leo Attain, he stopped Glenn Williams. Easy fight type shit. And he's been very active since turning pro last year. They what 8-0, 8-0, 7 knockouts. Yeah, they can just keep building him, progressing. He's 19. He's cool. Probably the best fight on the card was Sanchez versus Rios in the to open up the main card. That was a good fight. That was a real good ass fight. Smith couldn't cut the ring against Jermaine. I remember that fight. Jermaine ain't do shit in that fight though. But I'm with you. Yeah, he gonna have to figure it out. He gonna have to figure that shit out between now he got some time. He did bring over some slick softballs over there, and yeah, and get it together because Playo fights the way he fights. It's gonna be tough because he can keep the range and distance. He let his hands go enough, and he finished fights pretty strong. That's why his fights be close. It be like competitive, but then he normally finish strong. So yeah, Dalton got the home court advantage, fighting in Sheffield and all that good shit. But he got to bring something to the table. Maybe we can get to the body and slow that shit down a little bit. Um, yeah, I want to see it though. I want to see the adjustments, and I love his dad as a trainer too. Sanchez and Rios, this is a good fight, man. They was both like hurting each other and stuff. Rios started fast. Sanchez ended up scoring a knockdown, and Rios got up and kind of just, I ain't gonna say dominate, but he kind of, he all worked and kind of, all pointed Sanchez down the stretch to win the fight. So that was good. That's a good learning lesson for the young fighter Rios. Maybe he get a contract with Matchroom. He went through some adversity and got back up and won the fight. So that was good. That was a good back and forth. Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez against Aaron Alameda. This was all one sided. Second round stoppage win for Chop Chop. Man, I love Chop Chop because he one of the best combination punchers in boxing right now. The way he finished up that combination, going to the body against Aaron Alameda. This is a big win because nobody ever done that to Alameda. Nobody. Alameda was even though he's not. I won't say he's in his prime or he's in his heyday, but this is part of the progression as you going through the ranks. You got to be a former world title challenger that never been stopped, and this is what Chop Chop did. Chop Chop is nice. I mean, I think he checked all the boxes, as far as like charisma. He got a solid little fan base down in Southern California. He with the right team, RGBA, and he's just a good fighter. Been active. He's with Top Rank too. So let's see. He called out all the champions. Um, I'm with it. I think just realistically, maybe one or two more fights, maybe because there's a lot of politics in the featherweight division. We have to see what Espinoza trying to do. He might have a mandatory with Para. Matter of fact, all the champions that he mentioned got a mandatory. Well, all the champions has a mandatory, but Figgy is going to Japan to fight Kameda, so he already got some locked in. Shushu has a mandatory, and Lorente. I'm not sure if that's going to get ordered or if that's next. Leo don't have a mandatory, but Leo might fight Trinidad on the Ryan Garcia card. So, I would say maybe at least one or two more realistically, looking at the politics in that division. So, hey, what about Jan Santana? Maybe not because Santana going through some out of the ring issues and stuff. So maybe he won't be ready. But maybe one of the former opponents of one of them champions. You know what I'm saying? Fight one of them. Uh, yeah, bro. I like Chop Chop. I seen that. Yep. I seen that. Final eliminated. Yep. So that means, yep. So pretty much that's like what happened with Kevin Ajako when they ordered him in Bachram and Kevin pulled out to get the Josh Kelly fight. So basically, same scenario. Andy Cruz and Montoya. I mean, Andy, look, he had an opponent in there that was tailor made. Montoya was super slow, and Andy was just chopping him up. He ended up stopping him he hit him with a big right hand at the end of the second round, and then third round he finished him. That was, I mean, that was entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Very entertaining. You know, and Andy looked good. He looked sharp. You tell he want to be aggressive. So he announced that he's going back down. He's going down to 130, which I think he made that decision too late because he probably was in a position where he could have got an eliminator already because he fought in January and that fight with him and Albert Bell been going on for a long time. he probably should have got the 130 shit sooner. At least he could have had a fight already or something to get in the rankings high enough at 130. I'm thinking IBF route because, I mean, of course, it was the mandatory. And eventually he can be in that mix with Jackson English and Sultan Zubek, who's about to fight for the final eliminator. I think Andy fits in with them. But it's like I said, it's still it's some politicking at 130. You know what I'm saying? Navarrete, he got situations. Ashaki Foster, he has a mandatory per se, but with Ryan Gardner having the interim title, Ryan Gardner will be able to defend his title a few times. So I don't know if Shaki Foster is mandated right now, but he looking to fight now. So it's some shit. Andy Cruz definitely fits in and made the division better. I like fights like in-house fights. Him versus Nunez, him versus Ray Ford. You know, I like the Jassa Dickens fight if they can do that 7v7 Queensberry matchroom. I think that actually makes sense to me. But yeah, he fits in at 130. Let's see how they move him. Main event: Pacheco versus Elaine. This is a good performance by Pacheco. Man, it's been yeah. I was wondering when that shit was gonna happen. Is it next week? I don't think it happens. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jamel Herring. Yeah, I thought Jamel Herring actually won that fight too. I thought he actually won that fight, but yeah. Damn, when you don't pay these fighters, bro, that shit get weird. You think Suarez gets Navarrete fight? I think he will. I think he will. We'll have to see we'll have to see what the WBO does though. Transparency, the belts matter. We got to see what they do. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. Yes, sir. Pacheco and Lee. I thought Pacheco looked good. You know, he that jab was on point. I mean, that set the table. Aleem couldn't do nothing with that jab, and he was getting hit with right hands. Um, you know, it was basically this one way action. I thought the fight kind of changed when Pacheco started to fight in the inside. So that was a nice wrinkle. He was landing some good body shots to slow down Aleem and start to break him down through the course of the fight. You know, Aleem tough. So it wasn't that easy just to get him up out of there. Like people think you just run over there, hit him one punch, and he's done. No, you got to break these type of guys down because Aleem, really, truth be told, he's a career sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know that. When you keep getting invited back to a Jamal Charlo training camp, bro, Aristotle Lara training camp, that means you're durable. They not keep coming, keep bringing you back if you can't take no shots and all that shit. You good enough to give them work, but you ain't. You know, you still at a certain level. That's a sparring partner mentality, and we probably seen some of that last night. But Pacheco broke him down nicely. And you know what I'm saying? I like how he cleaned him up. That fight could have been stopped probably around the eighth or ninth round, to be honest, because it lost this competitive. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't competitive no more. It was kind of one sided shit. And I think Ray Corona, the ref, was looking for a reason to jump in. But Pacheco ended up finishing him. He dropped him in the 11th round. It was like an overhead right on top of the ear. Then he dropped him again, finished him up. Good performance for me. You know what I'm saying? Because Pacheco, he get a lot of flack. But I think Pacheco actually doing it the right way. You know, I know in this day and age, it's the ducking age. You know what I'm saying? If you turn down a fight, you're ducking, right? And I actually liked the move. He felt like he wasn't ready. And the way his corner, I didn't like his corner in that Style Joe fight. And that was a tough fight, too. Like, none of these other contenders is going to, like, Saljo is a tough out for all these top guys. They might beat him, but Saljo is tough and strong. So I'm not holding it against him. You know what I'm saying? But him getting with Buddy McGirt, you can tell the jab was a key focus. Excuse me. And then I thought when he started going to the body, like I mentioned before, I think Pacheco is a real good body puncher. And once he started digging to the body, that changed the fight and opened up the knockout. So Pacheco was back in the same position. He really in the same position. You know what I'm saying? That he was before the Saljo fight or after the Saljo fight, before he turned down the title shot against Shiraz. He's still right there for it. The WBO could order Shiraz and Pacheco next. You know what I'm saying? They could order that next. It's fine. He turned it down, but the promotion around him, that's the issue. He was doing interviews saying he wanted Shiraz for this fight. Yeah, see, it don't. A lot of that stuff don't coincide. You know, when these guys they say one thing and then the team move a different way. But he right back in the mix. Him and Shiraz is on the same schedule. Shiraz fight next week. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the WBO been poised to order a mandatory for him. And Pacheco is right there. I think Canelo is number one. Pacheco number two. You know what I'm saying? So he's right there. He's in a good position. I think actually a lot of people write him off, and they giving Hamza Shiraz a lot of praise off of the Berlanga fight. But real talk, he haven't really done nothing in '68. Pacheco did the heavy lifting per se. He did more shit at '68. I think his 2025 is underrated. He beat the undefeated Steven Nelson with Team Bomac and Team Crawford. That's a good win. He beat McCumbee coming off his best. Even though McCumbee lost the plant, um, he beat McCumbee, who was a tough contender. You know what I'm saying? McCumbee, didn't really do what he did in the Caleb Plant fight. But I thought that was a lot with Pacheco. And that wasn't like the best performance from Pacheco. And then Saljo was tough as fuck, yo. He tough. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I think he can beat Shiraz too. Um, you know what though? Because I seen Shiraz it was a while ago. He fought this tall guy. That same tall, I think he's from Argentina. He hurt Shiraz, or he dropped Shiraz in that fight. He was tall, and that shit was interesting to me. How do he fare with a tall guy? They both 6'3", 6'4". That's a different dynamic from Shiraz. I mean, Pacheco fought guys taller than him, even though Cullen and all that shit, whatever. He fought Gallegos pretty tall. So that's a different look for Shiraz, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that guy that dropped him, he had fought Jose Benavidez like before. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Yo, JC, what's good, bro?" He been taking. I don't think so, bro. I think this one part was a step back. So let me go back. Let me take my step back. This one was a step back, but I think actually, yeah, this. But see, I respect the move because he had left. He had left Jose Senior, and he was trying to figure out his stuff. Remember he lost his brother. I think it was last year. He was dealing with some shit. Like, I understand, like, we want these fighters to be tough, strong, and go through everything. But life happens, and you have to take a step back. I'm fucking with Pacheco though. I brought Mike in the building. What's good? I was at that fight. The guy, yeah, that's yeah. There it is. Ha, yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying that was a tall guy. Pacheco was tall, and he's seasoned at 168. I like that fight. Let's get it. Let's see what the WBO does. Pro Box TV. So we had Brian Flores, Jonathan Navarro. They started this shit kind of early too, which I kind of like. Just a note: Charlie Suarez fought on this card. He had a first round knockout, so he keeps his position as the WBO mandatory for Navarrete. I think that should be next. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens. Navarrete, he got options, but Suarez, he got with Samson Likowitz for a reason. He left Top Rank, which it seemed like Top Rank it would be better to or easier to make the fight being with Top Rank with Navarrete. Left them and got with Samson. So Samson would probably push for his opportunity. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? On this card. So Aguilar versus Wiggins, this shit, damn, the way it ended was kind of crazy. Aguilar was This is the first round. Aguilar was in control. He was about to stop Wiggins for sure. He got clipped with something in the inside. He was hurt holding. And then the controversy, the ref, he said stop, but Aguilar, he still hit him with a shot. But the ref wasn't in between them. So I think it's a slippery slope right there because I felt like he did say stop, and you're supposed to listen to what the ref say. You know what I'm saying? But a good ref would be in between that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was behind the action, and Aguilar landed a damn right hand. Oh my goodness! Trayshawn Wiggins was out of there, and they stopped the fight. He can continue, and Aguilar got DQ, so that's his blemish on his resume. It don't take nothing from him because shit. I know it's a loss or whatever, but for me, he was going to destroy Wiggins. Let's see if Pro Box run that back. You know what I'm saying? Get that back. Wiggins don't really got too much shit going on. And he looked crazy in that fight. Maybe he was waiting. I seen the weigh in. He was looking kind of tight at the weight. Um, let's see if he moves on or whatever. But that was bad for him. He was about to get highlight reel on him for sure. He said Sharrington been active, been riding with Belanga. Oh, Shiraz. Shiraz just fought. He got another fight coming up next week. Lolo Harris. Yeah, he looked good. Yep. Salute to Lolo. He looked good. Yep, yep, yep. I appreciate that. I seen that. I watched it. Anton gonna be really fun. Yeah, yeah. He threw a lot of damn punches. Yeah. If I'm fighting Fundora, if I'm setting up that camp, I'm bringing in Joshua Aton for sure. He probably doesn't speak English. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yep, that's another thing. Yep, yep, that's another thing. Maybe if he would have said it in Spanish, maybe that was a good performance too. Thanks for bringing this up. Yeah, he beat the Louis Correa. That was a good win. Salute to him. Yeah, that was interesting too that he was on commentary. I'm like, shit, why he not in the corner? Fuck all that. But now I get it though. He got a different role, and plus, look, if he got all these assistants and stuff like that, and these guys gonna have fights, and you can't control the promoter schedule, these guys that he's grooming as trainers, they gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand. That was a good win though. Yep, he beat the undefeated Korea. Uh, World title fight. Adelaide Ruiz versus Jenny Future. This is a rematch, and we got back here because of the politics of boxing. Jenny beat Ruiz for the WC interim title on Pacheco's undercard a couple years ago. It's crazy, and they fought on the same day. Um, and she didn't get elevated to full champion. They let Ruiz fight Quebec for the vacant title. Quebec was coming off a loss at 112 to Gabby Fundora, and she got an opportunity. So that's how we got here. Ruiz came in as a champion, and she left as a champion. I thought Jenny was doing well the first 4 rounds. I had her up 3 rounds to 1. She was boxing. She was doing this little side step, getting in the inside, landing a jab, and kind of throwing off the rhythm of Ruiz. But after that, Ruiz started to take it to her. I think her power was underrated. She started to slow down Jenny. Well, Jenny slowed down. Looked like she got tired. And I thought Ruiz won the back half of the fight. I scored it 6 rounds to 4 for her. I was saying Jenny needed a knockout because, and I knew that was because she can't punch. But I was saying that because everything was for Ruiz. If they're going to give Ruiz a title shot after you beat her and she signed with Pro Box and you fighting in her hometown, you got to go out there and get the knockout or do like Popo did. You know what I'm saying? Make it kind of obvious. So Ruiz won the fight legit to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good win. Um, Jenny suffered her first loss, and I think she's been like inactive since then. She had a hand injury, so the outlook for Ruiz, she can unify. I mean, 115 is a solid division for her to unify. I actually like the IBF champion that's with MVP. I think that'd be a good. I think Yermer Garcia, she coming off a knockout win against Dolan in the UK. I think that's a good fight for her. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. They used to be stablemates too on Marv Nation. Yeah, I remember that. Aton versus Hernandez. That shit was fun. Action packed fight. Um, they had to fix the damn top rope. They had like a little, I don't know how long it was. I'm gonna say 30-minute delay. But Aton, this dude threw hella punches. 6'3", southpaw, fights on the inside. Like I mentioned, if I'm fighting Fundora, I'm bringing in Aton for sure. Bringing him in. But the veteran Vlad Hernandez is tough, durable. He's gonna come forward. He said facts. He's gonna come forward and do his thing. But Anton, that he definitely he won this fight. Salute to him. Brian Flores and Navarro. Flores got the decision win. This was kind of it was some solid action in there. I thought Flores, the bigger puncher, the more active guy. Navarro has little spells here and there. He was another guy that was with Robert Garcia, and Robert, yeah, he was keeping it fair on the commentary. That's a good shot. But Flores, he's what, number 14 in the WBC, so at 140. So that would definitely kind of build him up. We get him probably in the top 10, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, not a bad card. I like Aguilar. Aguilar gonna be problems. Maybe Trayshawn Wiggins. I want that no more. And Aton, he stood out to me too. Fun fighters. I have to talk about this. This is early morning tomorrow, July the 20th. We basically got three title fights. Matsuda, Higa. That's for the WBA regular title at 118. We know Bam got the super title. They elevated they elevated him in the night. You know what I'm saying? Awata versus Badilio. That's for the WBC 108-pound title. Badilio is with Pro Box. Man, this boxing landscape has changed because everybody is working with everybody. So Awada is a two-time champ. I mean, Awada, he had problems with the Puerto Ricans. He lost both of his fights to the Puerto Ricans, Bama Gonzalez and Rene Santiago. But he came back and captured the title against CP Freshmart, and now he's making a defense against his mandatory. That's a good fight. We gotta look at the odds on that. Let me take off this logo so we can see Israel Gonzalez. Um, Badilio can win this fight for sure. For sure. If you see a line where you got Badilio as the underdog, you need to. I would say put a little bit of bread on Badilio, especially if he's the dog for sure. So Robert, nope. His son was Peter. Badilio is going to dominate Awada. Man, that's going to be a good fight. Badilio is a very good fighter, bro. I like him. Yeah, he's with Samson. Yep. Samson, the WBC. Hey, they laugh. Look, they don't understand. They acting like this is something new. All them years when Samson went to the WBC and Mauricio chastised him and all this shit, it's starting to pay off now. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to pay off. Chop Chop versus Bam. I would pay for that sparring. That'd be good too. They probably work together. It's very tough. Yeah, I think so too. That dude, I don't think he won a world title. He been like the bridesmaid a couple of times, but he fought Bam and Chocolatito. This damn Gonzalez, and he lost to he came up short against in Cajas years ago on Top Rank. Man, maybe this is time. Um, but Awada and Badilio is a good fight. Matsuda versus Higa. Higa is always tough and he durable and all that shit. I guess he coming back up from a retirement, but I like Matsuda. Matsuda is dangerous right now. I like him. To Kenshiro and Gonzalez. This is for the vacant WBO that Bam vacated at 115. I think Kenshiro is faded. I think his last couple of fights has shown some fade. Like he faded. He's definitely on the tail end. Gonzalez, this is make or break, and he's a tough veteran Mexican fighter, only 29 years old. Uh, I'm, yo, Gonzalez can win this too. He hasn't won a world title, but he's been given every that's one. Yeah, okay, all right. Refreshing my memory. Appreciate it. So this is a fight that Gonzalez can definitely win if you consider those factors. They Kenshiro is kind of faded. He's moving up to 115. You know, and he's facing a guy that's hungry for a world title. Yeah, Masuda long straight shots. Yeah, bro. Masuda is nice. If y'all haven't seen Masuda, he's good. I like him. So this is early morning tomorrow morning. They should be doing the weigh-ins and stuff pretty soon. And man, I know how to watch it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to share with everybody else. You gotta have a Japanese VPN and shit. They need to put everything on the zone, man. You know what I'm saying? That was during the pandemic. I remember that fight. Bam didn't stop Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? That's a feather in his hat. Bam been sleeping and stopping everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, Gonzalez is live for sure. So yeah, this is a good card coming up early morning. We'll definitely be back to talk about that. All right, so news and notes, some of the headlines for this week. We're gonna talk about it. No particular order, but we're gonna knock out. Okay, yeah, it's been knockout for sure. Yeah, we on it. All right, Jamal Charlo. So they denied his visa, so he can't enter the country. I can't enter Australia. So he's now on the card. His opponent was easy money. He would have beat that guy. That's a 154 pounder, way too small for Charlo. I'm kind of, I mean, I don't even feel no weight because I'd much rather not see that fight on pay per view. Um, so I don't understand why PBC sent some of the most irresponsible fighters down to Australia for one. Charlo is definitely fits that mold. He always got something going on. You know what I'm saying? Fulton, he made it there, but he hasn't shown to be the most responsible guy based on what he did in the Foster fight where he missed weight. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Damn, Dub, you so right about Chop Chop." Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you, Chop Chop is nice, yo. He's nice. He's nice. He's gonna be a problem. So I would like to see. He said he's gonna come back in the fall. So with October, PBC just signed got that network deal with the Zone, so they're gonna have some dates. Maybe this opens up another date for them because Charlo is really a headline fighter. Depending on the opponent, and he's a big name. I don't really like that. I'd rather him get on the Teofimo Rowley card, and then if he can get another fight at the end of the year, which is probably asking for too much. But yeah, bro. I don't like the idle time. You know what I'm saying? If he already did a training camp, get him on the next available card. Like he gotta wait till November and shit, bro. Man, then he gonna mess around and get in some more trouble. I like it. I think this should happen. Andre is fighting next week. Of course, Charlo is not going to replace Andre's opponent in that little ass show they got. But if Andre wins, which I expect him to win, why not put that can be his own event on TNT? That would make sense on TNT. The Zone TNT because those are American names that the boxing public knows and they have a storyline behind it. Andre pushing 40, Charlo is 36. Yeah, they can do that on TNT. That's their own event. They don't have to get on nobody's undercard for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Andre next week. Pro Box, they signed former champ Luis Alberto Lopez Venado. He's gonna fight September the 11th on the Pro Box show. I think it's gonna be in San Diego. I like Venado. I'm concerned about his brain bleed that he had against Angelo Leo and that knockout loss when he lost his title. That was crazy. And he came back and had a first round stoppage win in Mexico. Or he had a stoppage win in Mexico. Um, but I'm still concerned about that. But let's see. I think he's fighting at 130, so he's gonna make another push. So it is what it is. Tito Mercado, he signs with Solid Promotions. He's gonna fight on the undercard of Carissa Shields and Kay Scott August 15th. He's gonna face a man with Tago. All right, so a little bit of stuff to unpack, man. I like Tito McCullough as a fighter. I think he's nice. I think he's one of those guys that can be a dark horse in any division. I don't like how he's promoted and how he promoted himself and clout chase a lot of these top guys because it don't coincide or it don't match up with his matchmaking. His matchmaking always been poor because his dad ran his career. So even with him going to Matchroom, now he had one fight against with DMG when he fought Burgos. You know what I'm saying? Like he fought Burgos and act like he's supposed to get credit for that when Burgos been way faded. Then he about to fight Emmanuel Tago, who I ain't heard from him since the Ryan Garcia fight. That been some years ago. So I'm not mad at the signing. I don't really care what the guy signing. I don't like the matchmaking. 140 is too deep of a division to be fighting a man with Tago at this stage of his career. He should be fighting somebody within the top 10 or top 15 in these sanctioned bodies so he can get a little bit more boost. Because Mercado is high risk, low reward. He needs a mandatory position to get a world title shot. I I don't like the opponent, because it feel like he's still like this was the same level of competition he was getting when he was fighting on club shows in Pomona. You know what I'm saying? Like his competition hasn't stepped up. Even if you like Pedraza was a step back because Pedraza was faded. Moran, Moran is a gatekeeper type of guy. Those was his two fights on Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought Burgos. They fight, bro. The matchmaking and 140. You can go to 140 this box rec and look at fighters like Jukin Baliev. You got good fighters like that. Even bring out dust off. What's my man? Jeremiah Ponce. Bro, it's guys at 140 that he can fight. That's way more respectable than what he's about to do. So that's my only thing. The call outs and the clout chasing don't match up with the matchmaking. And other than that, he can fight his ass off. he's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a long range puncher and he can punch with both hands. He understands range and distance. He gonna give he gonna give a lot of guys some issues. You know what I'm saying? But you can and he been turning down fights too. The fights he been asking for, I know he turned down the Keyshawn Davis fight for sure. He turned that shit down. You know what I'm saying? But he should be fighting Jermaine Ortiz or, you know, guys of. I would even take a Nair Albright, to be honest. I think Nair Albright is better than the last five guys that he fought. So I don't know. But he would be on a big stage fighting in Atlanta. And let's see. I think if he can catch Tago, he'll end up stopping him. He got to catch him first because Tago will be on that bike. Lee Jackson was good with you. Where it is, that yeah, that's the facts right there, bro. Yeah, that's the facts. He is matchmaking for his son. No matter if he go to Matchroom, Salida, DMG, he can come to L Dubs Boxing Promotion. His dad gonna be in the mix. So I want to deal with it. Fuck that. And his people's been that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's facts. Straight, yeah. I can't deny it. He reminds me of LeBron Richards back in the day. Good fighter, but picks poor opponents and turn down opportunities. Yeah, see, you can't do that in this game. And then say you're a boogeyman. And then you get people with a platform calling him a boogeyman. The fuck? How's he fighting to go? That's what I'm saying. Man, I don't know, man. Your question, yeah. Yeah, bro, all these guys. Another one. Santiago, the Puerto Rican, Dominican Puerto Rican that fought David Haney back in the day. Alfredo Santiago. Bro, perfect. He's like number 11 in the WBO. Niggas is weird. Oh, what's the dude name? Rivera. We ain't seen Rivera in a long time, but fighters like that make sense. All right, on to the next. Goodman and Nishida, they headed to an IBF interim title fight. Nishida's team won the purse bid. This fight will likely be September the 2nd. So Goodman is back in position to fight for another world title because eventually, really, the winner of this will be a world champ because anyway, it's not long for 122, in my opinion, or at least I don't know. I don't think anyway is going to fight the winner. Maybe, maybe not. But the IBF when they have an interim champion, they don't be interim for too long. It's just a little pass by. So I don't know. Gallus, perfect opponent, and those are fights that can be made too. Pooh in the building was good. Salute, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Oh, don't tell that. No, yeah, man. Yeah, we try not to. We try to keep it with buck. You know what I'm saying? To call it how we see it. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Salute to you, bro. Yo, this is a good fight though. Nishida, former champ at 18, lost his title in unification with Juntu, moving up to 22. Goodman is a solid pro. That's a good fight. Yo, Johnny Fisher signed with Zufa with one fight deal, won it. He's about to headline September 26th. Oh shit! That is a big bid for that division. So yeah, they really wanted that fight. Johnny Fisher though, Bosh. Yo, Eddie got rid of him. Like, bro, I can't do that with you. And they parted ways. But let's see. I mean, at the Copper Box, I guess they can build on his fan base. He do have a loyal fan base. Even though he's not like a top flight fighter, he got a fan base that would rock with him. So that's good. So we'll see. Let's see who they give him. I seen him standing next to Fa yesterday. I was like, no, don't do that one. But if they do that one, Fa gonna clean him up. So I don't know who they gonna give him. If it's Fa, it's a wrap. Fa gonna clean him up. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Now you understanding what I'm saying. It's too many good, solid fighters at 140 to be fighting a man with Tego. Why you dusting him off? You went all the way to Ghana to get Tego, who is probably chilling. You know what I'm saying? And you got, see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Now y'all see what I mean. No, I can't see it. I can't see Mikado fighting none of these guys based on the matchmaking previously, but it would make sense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Guerrero, yeah, they're not on the same timeline, but I'm just saying, if they was, I still can't see it. The level of opponents for Fisher, I've been hearing is so bad. Alan Babbage, oh my goodness, he ran through him. He probably fight that hard. What's that dude? That Harvey guy, the one who just fought Daisko. I mean, to be honest, he probably can beat Daisko, but Daisko, he weird. Don't know if you spoke on Diego yet. Yeah, I spoke on him, but it's all good. But how you feel about his performance, and do you think he's ready for a title shot next? Oh, contender. Oh no, I think he's ready, yo. I like his performance. It was poised. The jab was straight. I think the fight changed when he started going to the body and breaking down the lane, and it was a professional performance to me. I think it's good for him. And I think he's ready for a world title. I think I would favor him over Hamza Shiraz. And I would probably favor him over Jaime Munguia too. But I don't know about Iglesias. I think he's ready. And it's okay. He's 24. And to have that understanding to say, yo, I'm not ready. Let me get one more. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this realistically, I think he'll probably get another contender before he get the world title shot, based on just how the politics is working real quick. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him go straight to it. I think he looked good last night though. Dykes, he's been okay. All right. What the fuck? Damn. All right, we gonna get off this one then. All right, here's some undercard announcements for Atama versus Herkovic. This is August 29th, O2 Arena. Big stakes for that heavyweight fight because Atama got a lot of options. He's the WO mandatory. The winner of this is gonna get a world title shot for sure. The IBF order Atama versus Sanchez. Still waiting on word if Sanchez is gonna move on. So yeah, that's another story. But Sam Noakes is back against former champ Dez Baranicek. This is basically like a mercy killing to me. They're just living up to their obligations because they owe Barancek a comeback fight. You know what I'm saying? He been off since the Keyshawn fight, so over a year. He's tricky and crafty. I guess given a great training camp and rejuvenated, he could do something. I think Sam Noakes gonna be too big and strong for him. You know what I'm saying? And this would get Sam Noakes kind of back in the mix. He had a comeback fight in May, scored the knockout win, but this one a little bit more high profile. And this is just Baranchik. They just living up to their commitment because they had signed him. That's all. Olis Jr. versus Perez, and this is interesting. Old man Perez been around for a long time. He probably one of the few boxers fighting right now that fought on HBO and shit. That's weird. But Olis, he's a big, strong guy. Perez got the experience. I like Perez in this fight. I think he can take advantage of some of the flaws that Olis has. It should be fun though. And then we have Ursay versus Vaughn. Ursay is a tall southpaw. He kind of reminds me of Lucian Boutte. Y'all remember him back in the day? Um, he's a welterweight, pretty solid. Hey, y'all, give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. All right, we back. We back. So Ursay, he's a good boxer though. He's solid. You know what I'm saying? It's for the British and Commonwealth title, so this a solid addition to the card as well. So yeah, I want to see Moses though. Moses is like that, yo. He's fun. He felt like a small fighter. I agree as well. He looked good on the buddy and he listens. Yeah, he did. He did. Yep, Hamza. Yep, either one of those fights, bro. I'm with it. Yes, sir. He said the announcements for the undercard are interesting for the fact that they're making. Yeah, man. Oh man, I don't know why the IBF ordered that shit. If it wasn't happening, yeah, that's true. Is that Perez? He was fighting Chris Bird for. I don't think he fought Chris Bird. He fought. I think he fought Takam. I think he fought Brian Jennings back in the day. But I don't think he fought Chris Bird. He got a box rate that one. I don't think he did. All right. Amanda Serrano, she trying to get her knockout. She trying to break that knockout record. She gonna break that shit. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna face WBO mandatory Manzor from Argentina. She should stop her. This is Friday, August the 21st. Now they doing this on TikTok, so this is good right here. Another avenue to show fights. You know what I'm saying? So this is, Amanda is on the back end of her career too. I think this will probably be one of her last fights. She just want to break the record. She's been sitting on that record for a long time. Amanda is nice. Amanda can fight, and we know she's basically all time great in women's boxing. So I mean, she in a position where she can do what she want to do. So it is what it is. So yeah, yeah, this is interesting though. I don't really be on TikTok like that, but I'm gonna be on there for this one for sure. He said, your thoughts on Louise and Kemba, the Kemba card. You like the location? Yeah. I like it. I mean, it's cool. New Jersey, it's for Vito and Kimba. They both Polish fighters. Ammo versus Vito. That's a good fight at 160. Excuse me, 160. Ruiz fighting Kimba. That's actually a good comeback fight for Ruiz. Kimba's coming off a loss to Caballero. As we seen Ruiz last night, he said he want to fight the WBC champion. That's Caballero last I checked. So maybe he want to get a comparison fight. And Ruiz fight tall fighters real well. And the location, New Jersey, is cool. They can build that up with some local guys. I know what's name gonna be on there. We're gonna talk about it later. Zay Quinn is on there, so yeah, I'm cool with it. He got around his prime with PED, but yeah, I remember that. That was nasty. Yeah, that was nasty. I thought she retired. Nah, she trying to break that knockout record. Alan Chavez on that card. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know who they gonna give him, but yeah, I like the Garon fight for him. Zibachino, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. All right, so take a look at Matchroom's schedule in August. Matchroom MVP schedule in August. My bus. Look, this is good. Shanika Johnson and Dina Thorson. That's for the undisputed title, 118. That's gonna be fun. Serrano trying to get her knockout record. They fighting in Pachanga, Southern California, Temecula, and then Michaela Mayer and Chantel Cameron. That's a dope ass fight right there. Plus, you got Caroline Dubois on that card. Yeah, bro. I like this because MVP is focused on women's boxing, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Um, One of the guy from Argentina, the reporter, he said that Pardo not gonna take the fight, but I don't know. I would like Pardo, but I don't think from what he was saying, he's not gonna take the fight. All right, so Matchroom, they re-signed Joe McGrail. One of the McGrail brothers, Peter, the other one. So let's see what they can do with him and build him. So hopefully that means they get bigger and better fights. As they push him. Um, Ben Whitaker versus Connor Wallace, IBF final eliminator, looking like August the 3rd. So this is the fight. This is the plan that Eddie was talking about bringing. Having Ben fight in the U.S. Now he going headline back in the U.K. Man, he been on one. He been looking dynamic. I ain't gonna lie. So he'll be in position to fight for a world title, and look like he going after Bivol. Maybe Eddie, who represents Bivol, whatever. Maybe he knows something that we don't know by having Ben fight for that final eliminator. I wouldn't be surprised if this be upgraded to a world title shot because Bivol, I don't know what the hell going on. He breaking down. Maybe those 24 rounds with Viterbia really broke him down more than what we think because he had a back injury after that fight, and then he got an elbow injury, and now I don't know how long he's going to be out. The WBO ordered him versus Callum Smith, who is coming off a long layoff and injuries. So maybe they know something. Maybe Ben might be fighting for a vacant title. You remember you remember he said they burgled my home. They took his IBF trinket, the IBF regional title. So maybe he gonna get the real world title next. So this shit's funny. But I like Ben Whitaker though, and Connor Wallace is a good southpaw, but he gonna have nothing for Ben Whitaker if he's on the shit that he been on. He's not gonna have nothing for him. And then we mentioned this earlier. Just talked about it. Talked about this. Andy Ruiz versus Damian Kimba. Comeback for Andy. Andy trying to get back in the mix, and he said he going down the WBC route, which kind of makes sense because Caballero need a big name opponent. He might have to go to Germany for that one, but he traveled before. Kimba could cause some trouble for Ruiz early if he uses his height and reach in boxing. I mean, he was piecing up Cabiel for that first round, but then he just broke down. So I can see him having a little bit of success early with Ruiz trying to shake the rust. Vito versus Ammo. This is a crossroads fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Ammo, one more loss, basically he out the door. Or he gonna turn to a gatekeeper type of guy. But Eddie been loyal. They've been loyal. You know what I'm saying? He been with Eddie from the beginning. And then Vito just signed with Matchroom. You know, I think he got like a little 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal. I forgot. And it's in New Jersey, so it's set up for Vito to win. Vito has been looking solid as of late with Ronnie Shields. So yeah, that's not a bad card though. This gonna be on TNT as well, so that's good because the American boxing fans, we know Andy Ruiz based on beating Anthony Joshua those years ago, so we know him. And I think the fans seen Vito enough because Vito been on TV. Shit, he been on TV more than a lot of champions. So yeah, this is good though. So we talked about Alan Chavez supposed to be on the card. Good. Zaquin Moses is from Newark, so that's obviously makes sense. Um, I think after this year, they can start stepping up Zaquin. They can start stepping him up, get him an 8 rounders, 10 rounders, and shit like that. So not bad though. This is good. Well, we just for a payday. Vito a bum. Vito ammo. Man, maybe so. Yeah. Maybe that can they can do some things. Yep. I'm with that fight. Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying, man. It's actually immersion. We gotta get Troy Isley in the mix. He was Salida and he fought off TV. They gotta get him in the mix. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they gotta get him in the mix. Now it's interesting though. Some young guys coming through, which can make the division better. But I like Amari Jones. I'm high on him, and he should be getting the opportunity. And look, let's get back to Amari Jones. Amari Jones, he said, let me see, Xander. Yep, that's another good one. Yep, Yep, um, yeah. If Xander can, because he'll basically fall right in the mix of those young guys, but he's just a former unified champ. But Amari Jones is the mandatory for McKenna Olaha IBF vacant title fight August 8th in Ireland on Zuffa Boxing. So everything's starting to come together. You know, Amari Jones is with Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, Zuffa Boxing putting on that IBF title fight. They working with the IBF, it look like. You know, so we can probably get another event with Zuffa Boxing and Golden Boy because the IBF is going to order Amari Jones versus the winner of McKenna and Olaha. So Amari Jones should be fighting for a world title pretty soon. So, yo, let's get it. Oh no, for sure. Jones stands out above those guys. Good fighters though, but Jones, man, I like him. Man, um, Ruiz not serious for real. He looked good last night though. He looked good last night. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he's in the, he like he about in some shape, about 260. He beats him. Yeah. Man, McKenna is tough as hell. McKenna lost a lot of momentum after that damn beefy fight. Damn. Olaha is tough and strong though, but it's gonna be a great atmosphere, man. Ireland got they got a lot of boxing coming up. August 1st, they got Chamberlain O'Leary. The 8th, they got McKenna Olaha. Then they got Katie in September. So yeah, it's gonna be lit. Oh yeah, Ramos, Ladar, yeah, bro, yeah, young guys coming through. Push those old heads out the way. Um, yes, sir. Yeah, man. Ladar got a fight coming up too. George Ladar. They got the other guy too, Jimmy Sains, but he might be behind. He's behind them. He might be behind. Oh, Callum Wash. Callum Wash is at 160, but you know, Zuffa shit. But he's there. So yeah, he on Ozempic. Oh shit. Uh, yo, I like this. They doing a new series, project series with Box Lab, The Zone, Match Room. So this is Friday, August 28th. They got Corey Marksman versus Christian Barreto. Um, that's a good fight right there, though. Christian can fight. Marksman can fight too. I like Marksman. I'm glad he getting the opportunity and get the headline. This is good. Got Eagles versus Lions. That's on the card too. That's a solid fight. Bray versus Ingram. Bray is a tall guy, 6'3", fights at 154. Ingram is tall as hell too. Um, that might be an awkward ass fight, but that's interesting. DeLeon versus Montez. So this is look like a next gen show in a sense, but they bring it to the US. But I like Corey Marksman though. Glad he's getting the opportunity. This is good. This is good, bro. He probably won't even reach Bryce level. Oh shit. Jimmy, I seen him fight when they came over when Conor Ben fought Peter Dobson. I was in there. That shit was early as hell. That the doors open like I was in that bitch like 11 o'clock. So when I go to fights, I want to see all them hoes. I watch all the fights. But yeah, I remember him and the Rumford Bull on the card, Johnny Fish. Yeah, yeah, it is, bro. That's a good fight. I'm with it. Two them tall dudes, bro. They be awkward sometimes. Um, so here's some news. Nothing. I don't think this like big news to me, but I guess. So Earl Spence he requested to change the weight to 160 instead of 58. You know what I'm saying? You know he coming off a long layoff. Some people think that's something to look to. Maybe that's a chink in the armor, whatever. I look at it like this: if Earl Spence would have beat Crawford, he would have fought Canelo at 160 or at least 164 catch weight. So I don't even know the big deal. Tim Zoo, truth be told, he been kind of tight at 54. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really gonna speak on it, but this might help him out too. So I don't know. It ain't no big deal. These guys are set to fight July 25th, and I'm getting more intrigued by it now because we here. Before I was like, whatever. But now I'm kind of interested. I think Tim Zoo has a good opportunity. Like I don't care. Like I know, like I like Spence. You know what I'm saying? But I can't sit up here and say, bro, that I can 100% say that he's gonna win this fight. I can't say that. I don't know. He got way too many questions to answer, and I'm not sure he answered those. The only way he gonna answer those on fight night. And Tim Zoo been active, you know, and he got a new trainer, a more aggressive coach. Jeff Fenner is gonna try to press it. If I'm Tim Zoo, if I'm training him, bro. We pushing the issue on Spence. And if we figure out that he's okay, then we'll go back to our regular game plan. But we pushing the issue. We pushing him back because nobody really pushed Spence back other than Crawford and Porter in spots. And Ugas had some success too. So I want to see. So it's interesting. I don't think that 160 pounds really gonna matter too much. You know what I'm saying? Um, Let me see. Oh, Winner versus Lara. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think yeah. I can see that for sure. I know you spoke on that. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's no issues. You talking about for Tim Zoo making 54? Yeah, but making 160, I think they cool. Yeah, I saw that with the smoke. I had a joke. I was like, hopefully they don't blame Australia for getting Spence high like they did to Mike Tyson. They said Mike Tyson gave Spence some edibles and shit before the Crawford fight. Zoo hasn't made 54 since. Yeah, he been fighting above the limit. Yep. Velasquez, and damn the guy he just fought. Fuck. That guy pretty good too. He's pretty good, pretty serviceable. That guy that Tim Zoo just fought. I like him. I like Wilson. I like Wilson. I see Fulton doing a lot of holding and grabbing. Wilson's strong. I think Wilson can win this fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna stop Fulton, but I mean, look, you only good as your last fight. You know what I'm saying? So and you keep messing. What's his name? Mr. Danger. Yo, Wilson can punch. He's strong and he's big for 130. That's an interesting fight though. All right, so they announced this shit. Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben. Uh, man, it is what it is. It's a spectacle for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, both guys PED cheats. Both guys are like famous and all that good shit. Whatever it is, it could be a fun fight though because Conor Ben, his keys to success, he gonna have to get inside and work Ryan Garcia. And I'm not writing off Conor Ben because Ryan Garcia is trash on the inside. Like he be doing that damn shoulder roll just crazy. But I'm gonna say this: he looked real good under his dad. You know what I'm saying? When his dad had him against Barrios, he looked good. And I say that because the way he was boxing, and I mean, it was Barrios. Barrios been trying to lose since he beat Ugas. He been trying to lose. That's crazy because he just fighting draws and looking crazy. They want to fight Pacquiao, all types of crazy shit. But Ryan actually boxed well. He was using the ring. He was the right hand got off. He's gonna have a lot of spots with uh, Conor Ben because Conor Ben trying to get to the inside, and he might get hit with a left hook on top of the head. Might throw off all types of shit. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. This is September the 12th. Uh, they haven't announced the undercard. We've been hearing some names and stuff like that, but nothing official. Um, Trinidad versus Leo. I like that. That's a solid fight. You know what I'm saying? Um, so let's see how this shit builds up. They did a little press conference at Fans Fanatic yesterday at that event. You know, typical shit. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, this is kind of groundbreaking because Zulfa is working with other promoters. So that narrative that fighters go to Zulfa to duck smoke, then you can't use that narrative no more. Because Dana and Eddie, bro. I mean not Eddie, my bus. Dana and Oscar, I'm tripping. Dana and Oscar been beefing for long before Dana got into boxing. You know what I'm saying? And for them to sit down and make this fight, bro, with Turkey's help and Turkey's influence, that says a lot. So that means we should be able to get Tank and Shakur, Tank and Devin, whoever. It shouldn't be no fight that we can't get. So that's how I say that. We should be good now. All the fights we wanted. Yeah, the AI poster is weird. It is. That's yeah. That's a good one too. Um, yep. I think that's honestly, I like 105 pounds, but it's kind of like the end of 105 to me. Because dude, he didn't want to unify that division, basically, where he could have had a chance. Sandoval, he gives Sandoval at a good time, and this is a good opportunity for Collazo to live up to that top 10 pound for pound ranking that he has to jump up two divisions to go fight Sandoval, and he get them at the right time because Sandoval been off, and he had a little ticky tack injury too that he had to overcome, so he might be getting them at the right time. It might be. All right, so Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz resolved their issues. It's good because we need Virgil back at the mix. So they fixed what they had to fix, and Virgil is looking to. He said he want to fight Boots, according to Chris Mannix. That's music to our ears. And Fundora, he's the interim champion. Fundora is the full champion. He got a mandatory. Um, so y'all know how that should work. Like I said, Samson and Maul's manager, the guy from Turkey, They've been locked in with Mauricio for years. You know what I'm saying? My man, he got Yildirim the title shot against Canelo. He got Yildirim his mandatory position, coming off a loss and a failed PED test. They just brushed that PED test like it didn't happen. Oh no, he good. He okay. So if they can do that, they can get Fundora a mandatory opportunity. He can get the Fundora fight. So we're gonna see. I think if they can make the Boots fight, bro, that'd be perfect. Boots is in a different position now. Boots is like shit. I want to be undisputed. So you know what? He got a ready-made unification next. The winner between Josh Kelly and Kevin Ajako next week for the IBF, then he gonna get that fight. That fight already ready made. But here's the thing though, Bachram could possibly be the mandatory, depending how they kind of get with the IBF and fix shit. If they can kind of let them know, hey, Boots versus the winner, we trying to do that fight. So I can see Boots versus, let's say, Josh Kelly, because I don't think Bachman going to be mandatory soon. But maybe they make him do another eliminator, or they just get him that position. The winner, let's say Boots win, he'll probably have to fight Bachman. You know what I'm saying? Unless they can work something out where Bachman takes some more step aside. I mean, he done it before. He set the precedent to take step aside. I think he's the all time leader of step aside packages by the way of fights. Still the same shit. So that's another little interesting thing that can probably prevent undisputed. Fundora was like, shit. After I beat my mandatory, I think he supposed to fight October. Then he want to fight Boots. So if Boots and let's say Boots and Kelly fight around the same time as Fundora, let's say Fundora fights at the end of October and Boots and Kelly the top of November. So they're on the same schedule. Then they can make that happen. That I mean, so kind of, and I said this too. Virgil is kind of frozen out for a second. The division kept moving. You know what I'm saying? It's not ducking. It's just you froze yourself out with getting into a legal situation with your promoter. So now guys already making plans and whatever. So that fight with Boots, I think if it don't happen now, that shit might not happen. Maybe because I think Virgil might be at 160 before you know it. I'm just throwing it out there. So it's interesting, man. Let's see. I think what's probably gonna happen is Virgil will probably come back with people call it a tune-up, but maybe like this to get back in the mix. Somebody like Brandon Adams, or if Charles Conwell look good on the first, maybe him, something like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see. Brandon Adams or Charles Conwell. I can see that as a comeback fight for Virgil. Well, of course, we want to see that Boots fight. And then my last one, now Red Tape Foster. They in negotiations or talks or whatever. I think I don't think this fight gonna happen. I think Charlie Suarez gonna get his opportunity. Um, for sure. I mean, even though this fight should happen, but they owe Suarez an opportunity, and this is a big fight right here because Ashaki Foster has put a lot of pressure on being the number one guy in this division and overall great. He a great fighter. He a good fighter for sure. So it's like he need this type of name and this type of opponent to kind of live up to his, how he been moving as of late, coming off some good performances. So I would like to see it, but I have to put on my promoter and politic hat. I think Charles Suarez gonna get his opportunity. We have to see what the WBO does, though. The WBO should be ordering Navarrete and Suarez tomorrow. They should be because they supposed to been fought, and the whole point was Suarez wanted to get a tune-up fight. He's been out the ring so long, so I think that's gonna be next. But we'll see. We'll see. So a lot of shit was covered, man. A lot of stuff going on in boxing. boxing, as you can see, is starting to be under one umbrella. Turkey fitting the bill for a lot of stuff, which is good for, like, people say that's a bad thing, whatever, whatever. But we ain't been getting the fights we wanted for years, and now we starting to get it, and we starting to get every promotion company active, right? Because PBC, we need PBC active. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're stable, it's getting kind of old. Their top guys are old, and they haven't did the best job at revamping or bringing through a lot of young talent. Really, their workhorses now. Well, Benavidez, Pitbull Cruz, Fandora, Jesus Ramos are their workhorses. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really build up a lot of other guys like that. So hopefully they get an active schedule. With Charlo being out of the car next week, that opens up a door for maybe he can headline a show. And if Andre win, I think that makes sense. I think that fight makes sense. I think they can market that fight on TNT as like a grudge match. Put that shit. I don't know where they can put it at. If they can do Barclays Center, that'd be cool. So, um, basically everybody's under the on the zone. Salida's on the zone. We got Carissa Shields coming up in August. Queensberry, Matchroom, the zone. I mean Matchroom. It's like natural. Matchroom, the zone. Matchroom, Golden Boy. Everybody. Boxer got a show coming up. A rematch between Callum Simpson and Troy Williamson. That's a big fight too. They took Simpson out of the IBF rankings, but hopefully if Troy Williamson wins, I hope he get an opportunity. Y'all know what's been real quiet? They say a fight that supposed to have been negotiated. Iglesias versus Adamas. That's been real quiet. We haven't heard much about that since they said there was in negotiations. So that can fit on Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben's card. You know what I'm saying? That can fit on there. But really low key shut down fall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, like that, but see, that's the thing, yo. A lot of these guys with big platforms that drop boxing news, they don't do their research either. They just drop it because they heard an interview with Foster saying they was in negotiations. See, that's what I'm saying. It's no disrespect. Like if you hear something from me, and you be like, okay, cool, I appreciate it, and then you go do some more research to confirm it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to have at least three credible sources. And if they heard that from Foster, and then you see Carl Moretti sitting right there, after I heard that from Foster, I would go to Carl Moretti. Hey, Carl. Hey, how's the negotiation going with Foster and Arete? Oh, and then he'll tell you. Then I go circle back to somebody else that worked for Top Rank, and then that's three. So, yeah, bro, a lot of this shit is for likes and views, and you know what I'm saying, like they did with the Fundora shit. Fundora and Boots is in negotiations. That's some shit Eddie said. Eddie said we was talking to Luis de Cubas. Then he didn't say the fight was nowhere being done. And fans that follow the sport, we see that Josh Kelly is right there. Josh Kelly only signed with the Zone. Oh, well, excuse me. Only signed with Matchroom. Y'all see, I did it again. Only signed with Matchroom because he had an agreement to fight Boots because they had failed negotiations for him to fight last year when they picked Lima. They was trying to get other guys, but they landed on Lima. But Kelly was one of those guys, and he didn't like the money, so he went and signed with Matchroom so you get a higher guarantee. They won the purse bid because he was mandatory for Bachram at the time. He won the purse bid, got the fight in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Beat Bachram in a real close fight, and then now he's in the driver's seat. Get one more fight. He wanted to have a homecoming fight, but it just didn't play out like that. So it looked like he's gonna get a little bit better bag going to Saudi, fighting on AJ's card, and then after that, then it's gonna be Boots. I mean, that right there seems so logical. You know what I'm saying? Because with Boots, so I'm going back a little bit. Boots and Virgil, when they was negotiating both as interim champions, and this is why the belts changes things. You know what I'm saying? People want to. We need one belt, two. With the way the system works, the belts give you value. You know what I'm saying? If we have some champions in boxing, if they wasn't a world champion, they wouldn't have no value. For real. They won't have no value. He said, "What you think about Zuffa Ring got the plans for Shakur next fight?" Right? I don't think it's gonna be Rayo. I don't think it's gonna be Rayo. I think it's gonna be Devin Haney, in my opinion. I don't think he's gonna fight Rayo next. Not his. He might fight him probably down the line, but I don't think it's gonna be next, in my opinion. Um. So yeah, it's and I agree with them. They said the kind of negotiation standpoint kind of changes with Boots and Virgil since Boots is unified now. Now they probably ain't gonna go for that 50-50 shit. But at the end of the day, bro, they gotta make that fight happen. You know what I'm saying? If it's next, fine, that's perfect for us fans. Realistically, because it could be. See, it depends how Matchroom play their cards. Because if they think Josh Kelly is gonna still be there at the end of the day, or they can have options on that IBF, like whoever the IBF champion, keep options on that fighter. You know what I'm saying? If Kevin Jarko wins, which it could be a possibility, if he wins next week, we gotta have options on him. If Kevin Jarko wins and go fight Bachram, when we make that deal, we want options on the winner. You know what I'm saying? That way you can keep that IBF basically on your stable while Boots handle business. So if Boots go fight Virgil, boom, we need that, and then he can go fight Fundora after that, and then fight the IBF champion last. However we get there, then as long as we get there, we cool. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't happen overnight. But conventional wisdom says because he Boots, they basically on the same schedule. Maybe they're a month apart. Boots fought the end of June. Kelly fighting the end of July. So them fighting in November probably would make sense. So they cool. Yeah, yeah. So that's what it is, man. Salute to everybody coming through the building. Like I said, we'll be back. I want to recap that Japanese card. Let me throw it up there one more time. Early morning, tomorrow, July the 20th. We got 3 world title fights. Awata versus Badilio. That's a good fight. I think Badilio can win. Masuda versus Higa. That's for the WBA regular title. Bam has the super. And then the vacant WBO left vacant by Bam. Kenshiro Taraji versus my man Gonzalez. It's Israel Gonzalez. So 3 good fights. And I think Kasui is on this card too. So yeah. ESPN knockout, Japanese VPN, if you guys got it, Unext promotions. So yeah, bro. We're gonna come back and talk about that. And we got the fight week coming up. We got the return of Earl Spence, return of Anthony Joshua. We got return of Andre. We got a lot of returning next week. And we're gonna talk about the whole fight week for sure. And that's it, man. We're gonna keep track of these headlines, and then we'll come back and do the same thing. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate the time, and I'm out.